This is DRF, Race of the Day. Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF Race of the Day for Sunday, September the 19th, race number 9 at Woodbine. Here's the field for the Grade 1 Summer Stakes. 2-year-olds going a one-turn mile on the E.P. Taylor Turf Course. $400,000 is the purse. You can download free Formulator past performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at DRF.com. Access them, handicap along with us. European Invader, the number 4, Albar for Godolphin, brings a 3-race win streak to the party, as well as Frankie Dettori.
Yeah, going to be a short price in this race, it feels like, Dan. If only because not only is already a stakes winner over a mile over in England, but, he just faces a field here where it's just hard to get a handle on anybody else. There's only 3 horses in the entire field who have even won a race on turf to this point. So it's just hard to say what he's actually facing here.
Key for him might be the break. Many European horses often slow from the stalls, but Albar has shown some tactical speed overseas. I don't know if he's going to come from 100 lengths out of it. We throw up the Timeform US pace projector for the horses we have pace data on. First Empire, the number 8, is fast. He is stretching out. I would expect him to show speed in this race. Degree of Risk, the number 6. Maybe he'll be forward stretching out, but First Empire might be the one to catch.
Yeah, that's how I looked at it too. It does feel like First Empire stretching out here is going to just use his speed and try to make the lead in here. And then we'll see what happens with everybody else. I do think the Godolphin horse, based on what he showed overseas, can be forward in this race.
Shug McGahee's 2-year-olds were really firing on turf at Saratoga this summer, and one of them, the number 1, Dripping Gold, is in for this race. Let's watch Dripping Gold's debut victory, maiden special, 2 turns at the Spa. I like this effort, Mike. Showed a little bit of tactical speed, worked out a nice trip, got to the outside, and finished it off. This horse has upside.
He really does. He's very, very well-bred horse. Very ornery in the paddock before this race, Dan, but he was a total pro on the track. He set a perfect trip, secured his position at the rail, sat in behind the lead, came clear in the stretch. He wins very easily, as you can see. These owners, West Point, shipped up here to win this race a couple years ago, so they know what they're doing. This horse is nice.
Horse trying turf for the first time is the 2, Luckman. Let's watch his career debut on synthetic. Race washed off the turf onto the Tapeta for trainer Mark Cassey. And Luckman, you see, kind of down inside, trying to get out in a little bit tight. This isn't the most ideal situation for a first-time starter, yet he stays on okay to only be beaten the neck. And I think this extra distance could work well for him. 7/8, tough debut distance. He acquitted himself just fine.
He did. He ran fine in there. Only second best at the end, but he ran fine in that race. And as you say, in a bit of an uncomfortable position between horses late in there, he ran fine. We'll see how much he can improve as he switches surfaces and stretches out as a maiden, because he clearly has to improve.
Cassey also has a very intriguing runner in the number 3, Grafton Street, who has only raced once. That was at Belmont way back in May, an off-turf race, beaten favorite, has been freshened up, and talk about an ambitious spot. Cassey's going to run him in a Grade 1, off the layoff, stretching out, switching surfaces. This horse is all turf bred.
Yeah, that's what I liked about him too. Another horse who I guess you don't really know how good he is. I don't want to hold the debut against him on a sloppy dirt track going 5.5. He didn't run that well that day, but I don't really care about that race. As you say, he is all turf in his pedigree. The mile is supposed to be no problem for him.
Albar brings 3-race win streak into the fray. The rest of the field combined has won 6. And you watched his last race. Maybe it wasn't the strongest group of horses. This horse was very, very game. He sat in second. He attacked. He made the lead. He faced a challenge, and he just beat back that challenge the last furlong and a half without much issue. He may not be a brilliant 2-year-old, but it appears he has some class and talent.
Yeah, that's what I liked about him too. I'm with you. He's not very flashy when you watch him run, but he goes out there, he shows up, he does his job, he has good tactical speed. He took on a real strong challenge last time and fought it off.
First turf for the 5, Heat Merchant. This is a little gray son of Kobe's back who scored 3rd time out sprinting over the Tapeta surface. Let's watch that race right now. And Heat Merchant ran well, I thought, in this race. We're going to see him in the yellow silks and the white blinkers get to the outside. And once he gets to the clear, he comes with a real determined run to win this race. He's paired up 69 buyers. I think a forward move could be coming. He's going to need it as he faces tougher competition, stretching out and switching surfaces.
Right. I mean, there's a lot working against him here. I liked his race two back as well, Dan, when he got wired and rallied and just came up short. Last time he managed to get there. Now he's going to have to stretch out again and switch surfaces. He's got a lot on his plate here, but he looks like he has some talent.
Degree of Risk stretches out for Owen Hardy. This is another one owned by Godolphin, a winner 2 starts back over the Arlington Poly track, second in the Soaring Free behind First Empire last time out. Did you see an excuse?
No, but I thought he ran well in that race. And, I thought he ran well breaking his maiden 2 starts back as well. I mean, First Empire seems like a pretty nice horse with speed, but maybe this is the horse who can do a little bit better with the added distance than that horse can.
We talked about a couple of Cassie horses. Here's a couple more. The 7 Super Legacy, the 8 First Empire. Let's watch Super Legacy's debut. Off turf, 7/8 of a mile over the Tapeta surface. And Super Legacy's got some work to do turning into the stretch, chasing the favorite Diamond City, but readily goes by winning at 7/8. This horse has potential. I think he could certainly improve off that 62 buyer.
I do too. He wins this race pretty easily when all is said and done, Dan. He was meant for turf first time out, but he was just fine on the synthetic. He won the race, I thought fairly easily anyway. The distance is not supposed to be a problem. Cassie's got a bunch of horses in here. Maybe this is the one that you want to keep the closest eye on.
The one that should make the lead, the 8 First Empire, a perfect 2 for 2 on turf, including this victory in the Soaring Free, going 6.5 furlongs last time out, defeating Degree of Risk. And First Empire was on the pace in this race. Takes a good challenge from a Degree of Risk on the outside, but First Empire always has a little bit more in the tank.
Yeah, just turning that horse away all through the stretch. This is a really nice performance for this horse. I like both of his turf starts. They're both sprints. And now he's going to have to show that he can stretch out here. You can see him there refusing to sort of change leads late in the stretch, and he finally does it. But this horse is pretty good, and he's got good speed.
Ready for the Lady goes out for the great Roger Atfield, a maiden and only his second lifetime start, certainly bred for turf. He finished second behind Super Legacy. In the video we showed you, he was running on at the end of this race. It just seems like a tough spot.
It does. He was making a little bit of late ground in there, but he was never getting to Super Legacy, who I just thought ran the better race.
Top pick time for the Grade 1 Summer Stakes, our race of the day. We're both going with Godolphin. We're both going with Charlie Appleby, who's shipped in with several nice horses to North America this year. We're both going 4-8.
I mean, it just seems like this is the right spot for the Godolphin horse. I mean, I'm not going to be surprised when one of these other horses, jumps up and improves, Dan, but it feels like they have to do that to beat this horse.
4813 for Mike, 4865 for me. The Grade 1 Summer, one of 2 Grade 1 stakes races for 2-year-olds at Woodbine on Sunday. Good luck.